Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we have yet another delicious Rangers rumour to break down and discuss. This one is slightly different however because it's been reported that it's a battle between Rangers and Celtic to sign him. But before we go anywhere near that, ladies and gentlemen, as always a quick shout out to the legends themselves, One Football, for all their help behind the scenes. As always the link will be down there in the description below if you want a free footballing app that is actually good, despite the green. It's that side, isn't it? You know what's really annoying about that is it's not even intentional. But back to business then, shall we? And if that deliciously clickbaity tale didn't give it away, we're obviously here to talk about Tyrese Campbell. And the way this entire thing started, by the way, about 4 or 5 days ago, there was a little whisper, a little report about Rangers being apparently interested in signing him, followed by 2 days later where Sky Sports actually officially ran a story saying that both Celtic and Rangers were battling for the signature. And as I'm currently recording today's video, as in 3 hours ago, Rangers have apparently submitted an offer for the lad to come up the road in the summer. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another cheeky little free transfer, kinda, as there obviously would be a development fee because of the lad's age. It's very, very similar to the Aribo deal. That's the sort of best way to summarise it. If this is real, it's very, very similar. If he comes up the road, it's for a hell of a lot less money than it would be if he went to another English club. Hashtag Lee Bowyer still greeting. However, before we have our say on whether or not we believe that Rangers are actually in for him, as always, let's sit back, relax, open the old player profile and decide between us whether or not they should. So starting off then, shall we? And Campbell has just turned 20 years old as of December. He stands at 6 foot tall. He's a left-footed centre forward who currently plays for Stoke. Now he came through the Manchester Academy playing alongside the likes of Foden and Sancho. That's the ilk that he came from, but he left Man City by his own choice, not because like Man City wanted to get rid of him. He wanted to move away to try and increase his first team minutes, and that is where the transfer to Stoke happened. Now I just mentioned the fact he is left footed, but it has to be said he is nearly as strong on his right. He's very, very comfortable on both sides, and that sort of fills the mould of what Gerrard likes in his strikers. What he's actually brought in, he likes strikers that's very comfortable on either side and is very unpredictable in front of goal. And one of Campbell's biggest strengths has to be this man's incredible pace. Honestly, over the last couple of days when I've been taking my notes for tonight's video, watching pretty much everything I can about this laddie, there's been a couple of times I've just sat back and went, damn, he is fast. The distance he makes between him and the defender is frightening if the timing of the run is done correctly. And that's sort of where we are with Campbell. He is very, very raw. He is not the finished article to say the very least. He does tend to drift offside because he goes too early. But again, the lad is still young and he's learning the game. This is pretty much his second season in the professional side of the game. But if you look at what he's got in his locker already, he's got the pace and the power, which we've already talked about. But he's got that cold demeanour when he does get the ball in front of the goal. Very, very cold. And as my old dad likes to say, you can't teach that. You're either born with it or not. And this lad certainly is born with that. You see that when he's in front of goal. Cold, calm and collected. Never ever looks flustered, and he's got other aspects to his game as well, from like shooting and scoring goals outside the box. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he actually shoots from outside the box. That's a tick for a lot of Rangers fans already. But also something else I think we've lacked as well is the heading ability, besides the likes of Alfredo Morelos, and this guy certainly has a very impressive leap and he's been scoring a lot of headers as well. And all that makes for very encouraging reading. This lad's career definitely has a high ceiling to it, because when you look at it, he's already a good player, but he has all the makings of becoming a great one if he continues to knuckle down and work his arse off in training, and maybe, just maybe, learn directly from Jermaine Defoe and Alfredo Morelos. Just saying. Now though, I think it's time to jump into some stats then, shall we? And so far this season, he has played 23 games. He has 8 goals to his name and he has 2 assists in all competitions, which I think is solid numbers for a centre forward. However, those numbers become even more impressive when you look beyond just the initial stats and you see how much minutes that he's actually been playing. He's only played 27% of the minutes available for Stoke in the Premier League and only 46% of the minutes available in the Cups. So when you actually total everything together, he is averaging a goal every 127 minutes, which is very impressive at that age. Taking a step back away from this season, however, and looking at this man's overall footballing CV, at the age of 20, he has played 111 matches, scoring 50 goals, and he has 4 assists to his name. That right there is absolutely mental. However, it needs to be said that the majority of these matches so far in this lad's young career has been youth/reserve Premier League football. For instance, he's played 40 reserve league games in the Premier League, scoring 26 goals and having 2 assists. Very, very Solanke-esque. If you remember when I made that video, because there was a lot of clickbait when we were linked with him. He's scored this amount in this games, in this games, in this games. But as I broke down in that video, everything that was getting clickbaited was reserve and youth football. Now, thankfully, this lad has a lot more pedigree in terms of the top flight and playing actual football than Solanke did. So let's push all the reserve and all the youth football to one side and just focus on the top then, shall we? And so far, he has played 52 professional matches in his career, scoring 13 times and assisting twice in those 52 matches. I think those numbers right there reflect where he is at his career, and that is at the start, and it's all about getting experience and getting better. But now it's time to jump away from all the stats and all the numbers and just look at, if we did bring this lad in, what is his competition for places? Well, as I said last week, for Mustafa Mohamed, it just happens to be the 2 best strikers in the league, Alfredo Morelos and Jermaine Defoe. Tough nut to crack, that one. However, it needs to be said, I do think this is the exact signing that we need to bring. Someone who's young, who's got the potential, but is not quite there yet, who can sit 6 months to a year learning from Jermaine Defoe and Alfredo Morelos. Then, when Defoe decides to hang up the boots and become a coach, he can then step up and see where he's at. I think that would be a clever move from Rangers and thinking long term instead of always the short term options. However, it does need to be said he is very flexible across the entire front line, capable of playing on left wing and playing on right wing. And right wing, I think, is actually where he's second best to, besides obviously being a striker. In fact, the last time that he played right wing for Stoke, he got a FIFA 20 inform card, ladies and gentlemen. So, is this one of these options that we bring in someone for a position, but while he's not playing there, we move him and challenge him to push Joe Aribo to be better? Because you look at it, he's got all the aspects of becoming a great winger. He's got that pace, he's got the attacking threat, and he's got the dribbling ability as well. This may, just may, be one of those moves by Steven Gerrard where he brings someone in who can play in multiple positions, pushing people to be better. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's his player profile now complete. Now you know a little bit more about the lad. It's time for the old questions of the episode. The first one I want to ask you watching today's video is, if it was up to you, now you know more about him, would you sign him? And 2, do you believe this Rangers rumour to be true? While you're getting your thoughts and opinions out there, I'll give you mine very, very briefly, then we'll jump over and hear from the people on Twitter. 1, do I think Rangers should sign the laddie if the option was there? Yes, yes, yes. I said the same for Joe Aribo. I'm saying the same for this laddie. Very high potential, very skillful. He's got all the assets, can play in a couple positions. This one is a no-brainer for me. And 2, do I think this Rangers rumour is true? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this may be a first for a very long time. I do think there is some truth in this because it fits the mould perfectly of a potential Gerrard signing. Now, whether we get him or not, because there is a lot of interest in the laddie, that's another thing to be seen, but I do think Rangers are in for him. And as it has been a little while since I've believed the Rangers rumour, let's celebrate then, shall we? And what's the best way to celebrate on this channel, ladies and gentlemen? Go ahead and grab your refreshments. 3, 2, 1, sponsor break. It's been a while. If I'm honest with you, I did not put enough water in that diluting juice. That's disgusting. So now that me and thee have had their say, we've had a little refreshment, let's hear from the people on Twitter. There's been 1,722 votes. That is disgustingly mental, lads, especially with 26 minutes remaining. Thank you so much for getting involved. Now, 79% of the people agrees with yes, Rangers should go ahead and sign Campbell. That's very high considering how many votes there was. So let's see what the people had to say. Ian McDougall writes in, we need to grow that position now. Alfie is going. We all know that's going to happen. So start now, get a quality signing in. Have a season to deal with being at Rangers, learning from Alfie and Defoe, ready for next season. I thought that was Rudden, but guess not. So it's a yes from me. Thanks, Ian for spitting on my cereal this morning. Deacon Neil must have already saw the video because he writes in, seen a wee bit about him. He still looks raw but could be a good bit of business in terms of a future sell on as well. Callum Stewart says if it's the same as the Aribo deal, then yes, yeah, it should be around about 400k for a development fee if we get him up, so it's very similar to the Joe Aribo deal. Ryan Smith writes in, I think so. Defoe isn't going to be around for much longer and Morelos potentially away in the summer, and he's also linked with Celtic, so even better if we sign him. Sarah_03 says he's a young centre forward that could be very good for Rangers for years to come. Craig Murray writes in, take a punt on him in the summer. They need to spend money if we don't have to. The only thing I would say is we would still be required to pay that money even if it goes right to the summer and he's not without a club. We would still need to pay that money because that's a development fee, mate, so it makes no difference if we sign him now or at the end the season. Kevin Wakeham writes in, definitely we should be taking full advantage of the cross-border compensation rule. Kyle writes in, maybe sound like a Rangers dad here, but we've got plenty of youth that deserves a chance. Kai Kennedy, Dapo, Rudden and McPake, which is a fair option because obviously this is another youngster that we're bringing up here, but Zach Rudden's obviously going to Partick Thistle, that should be done. Dapo, I don't think Gerrard thinks is ready quite yet, and the same for Kai Kennedy. And the last one we read out in tonight's video, we'll scroll all the way down at the bottom, and it comes from Mitch, and he writes in, young, a good potential, would only get better under Defoe, don't see why not, it could be a very, very good investment. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now, and as always, I've been CJ Over92, thank you so much for watching, and bye.